What is going on, guys? Dr. Will here. So happy to bring you another Black Ops 3 gameplay commentary. Now, I sat down and started thinking about what I've been posting this channel, and I realized that I wasn't quite happy with it. So, I wanted this to be more of a Call of Duty and Rocket League channel, but also to be able to post other games as well, as I have been doing in Battlefront and in Turmoil. But I realized that I have posted maybe 2 Black Ops 3 videos since the game came out, since I started doing YouTube again, and I'm just not happy with that. So here I am bringing you my most kills in a game of Black Ops 3 ever. So this is going to be in domination because you don't have that pesky kill count, the maximum kills that you can get in Team Deathmatch, so it enabled me to get a lot more kills. And so for this commentary, I want to talk about my setup and why I think I did as well as I did. And to start, I actually want to say that this game honestly could have gone so much better. So I end up going 72 and 28, and honestly, it should have been so much more for several reasons. The first being that in the first half, I went 52 and 11. And so if you do the math, that means that the second half, I only went 20 and 17, which is ridiculous. And the reason for that is that I don't think the enemy team got a single score streak in this first half. And in the second half, I don't think there was a time where there was not a Wraith and a Hater in the air. They got maybe 3 or 4. It was absolutely ridiculous and really stopped me from getting as many kills as I could have. The second reason is my kill streaks. If you can see on the screen, I have a Talon, a Hellstorm, and a Lightning Strike on, and that is not typically what I run. I normally run, like, you know, the Wraith, the Raps, and Hater, and I don't really have a reason for you why I have these other score streaks on. It could have been for one of the daily challenges, which is actually the reason that I'm using Brecci in this game. I promise I'm not one of those kids who just runs around with Brecci that you hate. If you can see in the beginning of the video, you can rewind if you want to, the daily contract was actually to get 100 kills with shotguns. And within the first 2 kills I got that, and I continued using the Brecci in this game. And the funny thing is, my friends and I really don't like Nuketown that much. So I was just going to plan on getting my 2 kills and getting out, but for some unknown reason, I just stayed in the game, and honestly thank God I did, because I would not have gotten this gameplay if I had left. Maybe it's time to start giving Nuketown a little more chance, you know? So, as far as the class goes, this is another thing that's kind of strange. This isn't really a class that I would use ever, not just in the fact that I'm using the Brecci, but the perks, I don't know too much what to tell you about that. So as far as the gun goes, though, I'm using the Brecci with long barrel and rapid fire. You didn't see it in the beginning of the video. I, for some reason, edited that out, but I pull it up in the middle when I have to switch to my anti-score streak class. So I'm using the Brecci with long barrel and rapid fire, and the reason for those attachments is that the Brecci is a 2-shot kill, and shotguns in this game have complete damage drop, which means that if you are firing from long enough away, then the bullets won't even hit your opponent at all. So the long barrel, although it doesn't really cut down on the bullets that it takes to kill, as far as my understanding is from shotguns, but it will let you get hit markers from a longer range with shotguns. I think that's incredibly important. And as well, for the Brecci, it does have a firing cap similar to the Shiva, so that's the reason that I have rapid fire on this as well. So that's my reasoning for that. And also, I wanted to rock Intensity instead of the Dark Matter, just because I know Homage likes it, and it is a pretty cool black market camo that is not Dark Matter, because I use it all the time. Now for the perks of my class, I'm using Ghost, which is honestly pretty standard for me. I might even argue that it's not as necessary in Nuketown, but I think it's just so important to be able to stay off the radar whenever your enemies are trying to be looking at it. So, and the reason that I don't use Silencer, first of all, Silencer with shotguns is not smart, but your average Call of Duty player isn't really staring at the radar. They normally just look whenever they have a UAV, which is why I wear a Ghost. When they're supposed to be looking at it, they can't see me anymore. Now, for the green perks, I have Scavenger and Fast Hands. And to be honest, I'm not really sure why I have Scavenger. Fast Hands is a great perk. It lets you pull your gun up faster after sprinting, which is very key in winning gunfights in this game. But Scavenger, again, it's not really something that I run unless I know that I want to stick with this gun for a while. And with a shotgun, you're in such close quarters that I don't know if I ever really would have run out of ammo even without Scavenger in this game. So, and considering I already have another green perk, that was a wasted 2 points that I could have put towards something much more useful, which is, again, another reason why I really think this gameplay could have been so much more. But I'm not complaining about 72 and 28. And I know, guys, it's not crazy score. I know there are people who get 100 and 200 kill games, but I am not a pub stomper. I'm not crazy good at killing a lot of people really quickly, and I know it's not that impressive that it's with a Brecci, but it's my most kills game, and I'm proud of it, so I wanted to show y'all. And for the last things, on my class, I have 2 combat axes, which is also really weird. I know some of the reason for the weirdness in my classes is going to be that I am in the process of doing 100% completion, as I said on my video maybe a month ago, and I think I'm around 80, sorry about that, guys. I think I'm around 80 or 86% done, and I'm closing in, and so now I just have some of those different stuff that you don't typically use. You know, I have a bunch of tacticals that I don't normally use, and some lethals as well. And here is where the score streaks start coming in, and I just get wrecked, which is really disappointing. But, so that's the reason I have some strange things, and again, two tomahawks, that's going to be 3 points. I wasted 5 points on this class that I really think could have been used better. I watch a lot of YouTube myself, and I found that when you're using a Brecci or even another shotgun, any shotgun, Gung Ho is a really good perk because for the Brecci, I don't think I aim down sights once in this video, nor will I ever when using the Brecci, because it's just not necessary. It doesn't help. I feel it probably hurts you even. So, and because you're not aiming down sights, Gung Ho allows you to fire while sprinting, which, first of all, is a good perk in itself, and second of all, it's supposed to not make you have to run fast hands, which frees up another slot. So there are just so many mistakes that I've made in making my class. Not that I was going for this gameplay, it kind of just happened upon me. But, and while I have the class out, if any of y'all are wondering, the reason I use an ICR for a anti-score streak class is because the perks are so much more important for anti-score streak classes, so that you can't get killed by wraiths if you have Blind Eye in the air. While you have Blind Eye, if they're in the air, they can't shoot you while you're shooting them down. And similarly, if they call in wraps, Cold-Blooded helps with that, and with GI units and any round score streaks, like it says in the descriptions for the perks. And I feel that the ICR is the best gun to use, or one of the best assault rifles to use without any attachments. So that's the reason that that's my primary for my anti-score streak class. Obviously, you gotta have a black cell. And one tip that I want to share for you, well, actually 2 tips now as I think about it. But one tip I want to share with y'all on anti-score streak classes is EMPs are incredibly important for doing well at getting rid of score streaks. You can toss one. I think one will destroy Talon. I know it takes 3 to destroy Cerberus, but still that means you can take it out yourself in just seconds, toss 2, and then pop it with the black cell. So EMPs are going to be, and also, in addition, you can just kind of lob them in the general area of a Hardened Sentry or a Guardian, and I think 1 takes out a Guardian and 2 take out a Hardened Sentry. It might be 2 and 2, but still, you have 2 on your class, or you should anyways. And the other thing is, on the black cell, as you aim at a score streak, it actually tells you 2 very important things that I was unaware of until very recently. Those being how many shots it takes left to destroy it. And I know for a Wraith, if you're observant like I am, you know, if it's full health, it'll have its little drone to protect it. When it's one shot from being destroyed is smoking, and then the third shot will take it out. But other score streaks, it's much more difficult to be able to tell. And so if you aim in with the black cell, it will tell you how many shots it takes left to take it down, as well as how much time it has left in the game. And you should be able to tell those numbers apart from each other, because they're going to be milliseconds in the second thing I just mentioned, so it should be quite... and there it was. It was 3 and 42 seconds left there. So those are two really cool things that I wanted to share with y'all that I wasn't aware of until very recently. And sadly, guys, this game is wrapping up again. Going 20 and 17 on the second side was so heartbreaking. It was just awful, but what are you gonna do? The other team had 2 guys who dropped 60 and I dropped 70, and you know, some things are just meant to happen. But other general tips I would give is, as you can see throughout the gameplay, I kind of tried to, for the most part, stay in the houses around there, kind of running around. But then at the same time, I tried to not camp a corner. First of all, I don't want to be that player. I don't enjoy playing against campers, and I don't enjoy camping myself. But, and second, it makes you much harder to predict where you're coming from and where you're going to be while there are enemies streaming into that spot. So those are a few tips, and especially with the shotgun, keep it close quarters. And the Brecci actually has some very nice range right there. I just killed someone from a good range for a shotgun, you know. I would also say that the Brecci is probably the best shotgun in the game because the Haymaker just has no range. The Argus is probably tied with it, but for very many different reasons. But so that is going to do it, guys. 72 and 28. We did lose, but it is still my highest kills in a game of Call of Duty ever. So with that, guys, this has been Dr. Will signing off, and y'all have an amazing day.
Mission is a bolo. Get out of my sight.
Come on! Can't do this all myself.
The 54 Immortals crush all opposition.